What is going on, guys? Welcome to a brand new video, and today we're going to be doing Enchantress and why she has a 46% win rate. This hero honestly has been a pretty forgotten hero. In pubs it's never really been that popular, but this is going to be mid lane Enchantress. Now this is not meant to be super serious, it's more of a fun video, and if you've ever played mid Enchantress you know how strong she can be, but also how exploitable this hero can actually be in general. The hero does one thing very well, and that's doing a shit ton of damage thanks to Impetus. Now obviously this isn't the best build for ranked, but I'm going to be showing you guys a very fun gameplay, and hopefully you guys do enjoy. Maybe try it out in one of your ranked games, maybe great for your team. Nah, I'm just kidding. But if you guys do want to have some fun and you're tired of playing the same old boring heroes, maybe play some mid Enchantress and kind of throw a curveball against the enemy team. They're definitely not going to be expecting a mid Enchantress. Pretty much nobody plays this hero. Maybe the odd player, which I have not seen. I used to see mid Enchantress a lot more often, maybe a few patches ago, here and there, very situationally, but it would catch me off guard, and it does do a ton of damage. But again, it's a very exploitable hero. You don't farm very fast, you're very slow. If they have breaks, which they eventually will, if they don't naturally have breaks, they're going to be building silver edges and just delete you pretty much. You're all about your ultimate, people not being able to right click you down, but the wisps are very underrated. You're going to be using the overprotective wisp facet. When you take over 250 damage, one wisp will appear for 4 seconds, max 4 at a time. That is very strong. So if you take 1,000 damage within that span, you're going to be getting those extra wisps, and it's actually a lot of freaking healing. It's very underrated, and you honestly don't use enchant whatsoever. Like if you want to, you could, but I feel like it slows down Enchantress a lot more. You could play offlane Enchantress if you don't want to dabble in the mid Enchantress, which is more than likely a grief, but it is pretty fun to play. I enjoyed playing this game so much. It just feels nice to be able to run at people and doing whatever you want, because they're mostly all physical damage and they have no actual natural breaks. And even in games where they actually do, it's very easy to play around it if you know what you're doing, and they're just not expecting the pick. You're going to be soaking so much pressure from the enemy team, and the more distance you have, the more these Impetus are actually going to do, and more often than not, everyone's going to be running away from you, so that's actually a good thing. The lower MMR you are, the more this is actually going to work. So if you guys want to try something new in your pubs, definitely try out the mid Enchantress. Her innate ability is Forest Freebie, which means you get 1 extra neutral when it does drop if available, which isn't the best thing out there. It's pretty much a support hero, so it kind of suits it. It's nice, so you're able to get your teammates online with the neutral items, which is okay, I guess. It's not the best. It would be nice if there was a more core heavy facet where you can do a lot more damage on Impetus. That would be absolutely insane and would do a whole lot for core Enchantress in general. But there's a reason why this hero has a 46.59% win rate. The hero just doesn't do a whole lot of anything anymore. It doesn't win lanes like it used to, because Enchantress a couple of patches ago was pretty much very dominant, especially in the pro scene, but nowadays nobody's really picking it. The creeps are just not as strong, and it doesn't feel like a lane dominator like it used to be. Because I did play a little bit of support Enchantress, it felt really bad. Once the mid to late game hit, you still get to become this core Enchantress, and you still get to do all that damage and all that good stuff, but the laning is just very rough. It's not fun. So the build you guys are going to be running on the mid Enchantress is going to be treads, then you add a Witchblade to that, you go for Dragonlance, you finish your Hurricane Pike, and you could kind of do whatever you want. You can get a BKB, you could get a Monkey King Bar, you can get a Butterfly. I recommend the Shard. The Shard is very nice. You can wait for Tormentor to get it for free, or you can pick it up yourself. Again, this hero doesn't farm very well, so try and spend your money optimally in the game, because you're not going to be getting a whole ton of it unless you're getting a bunch of kills. So try and be as active as possible on this hero. Your only downfall is your mana pool, which is pretty abysmal. Even though you're an intelligence hero, you're going to be spamming so much Impetus, it just can't keep up. So make sure your teammates are getting mana boots for you, and please ask nicely, because otherwise they won't. But if they do get mana boots for you, you're going to be doing a lot more damage in the fights, and you're going to need less resets. But getting the Witchblade first is going to help you sustain your mana pool a little bit better, and then the Dragonlance afterwards, so you can start actually dealing some really nice damage. And once you have that Hurricane Pike, you're going to be deleting heroes left, right, and center, and if they don't have breaks, you're going to have a really good time. Let's break down some of the best and worst matchups for Enchantress. Some of the best matchups are Visage, Darkseer, Huskar, Lone Druid, Sniper. You're good up against against all these heroes, especially because you are pure damage. That is going to be very nice damage going for you. Have enchant at your disposal, which is very nice. It can help you against the ion shell. It can help you slow targets down for you to be able to maybe get away or maybe go for a nice play if they're trying to get away from you. There's quite a few things you can actually do on the hero, but technically the best build for the core enchantress, you're going to be maxing your wisps and maxing your impetus. That is pretty much the build. You can take 1 point in enchant just to help you gank a little bit better. Again, mobility is a pretty decent factor in this hero. You don't have a whole lot of it, so picking items like windlace can be pretty beneficial for you just to get around the map a little bit better, because the hero isn't slow by any means, but it's not crazy fast, and the fact that you want to be able to move quickly so you can land more impetus and be on top of targets, it is going to help you if you do get a windlace early on. You could also get wraith bands. They're very nice, especially after 25 minutes. You could also get bracers if you just feel like tanking up, but if all you need is the armor, get double wraith bands. You're going to get more attack speed, which is nice. You're going to be doing more damage in general, and you're going to feel a little bit more protected with that extra armor. But if not, bracers will do just fine. You could also get null talismans just to keep up with that mana pool. If you don't feel like getting the witchblade, I think it's a really nice tool. I think you shouldn't skip the witchblade. I think it's a very good part of your kit. It also gives you armor, which is very important, because again, at the end of the day, Enchantress doesn't have a whole lot of armor, doesn't have a whole lot of HP. Or you could mix and match a little bit and get 1 null talisman and 1 bracer or 1 wraith band. That way you're kind of covered. You have that extra mana regen to be able to do more damage and be able to stay longer around the map without resetting at base or without waiting for your teammates to come and boost you up with mana boots and such. Some of the bad matchups are Phantom Assassin, Marcy, Phantom Lancer, Bat Rider, Pudge. Basically high magical burst heroes, Nyx Assassin as well. All these heroes are very good up against you. Phantom Assassin obviously has a natural break, so she could easily delete you off the map. But if you're able to lock down the Phantom Assassin and you just stay on her, you're going to be pretty much obliterating her. You just do so much damage, it's unreal. But if the Phantom Assassin is able to just jump on top of you and break you, you will pretty much get deleted after 1 crit. It's a pretty hard matchup for you guys to deal with. So maybe consider buying a Silver Edge, have better positioning, and know where the Phantom Assassin is at all times, because you will have issues with this hero. Heroes like Phantom Lancer, Naga, they're very good against the Enchantress because you're a very single target hero. You have no real good way of dealing with illusions at all. You could take control of one, but that's not going to help you a whole lot. Building Maelstrom doesn't feel great on the hero. Like, I guess you could, but it's just not that great, so I wouldn't recommend it. So in general, illusion heroes are very good up against the Enchantress. Marcy is just a very strong hero in general against the Enchantress. You just do way too much damage with your Unleash, so you can actually delete her pretty quickly, and most of your damage is magical, so you don't need to right click a whole lot, and Unleash just gives you so much attack speed, you're able to burst her quite quickly. And heroes like Bat Rider and Pudge are a lot of heavy magical damage, which is a really big problem for you because they don't have to right click you at all. Items like Dagon are also very good up against the Enchantress. Spirit Vessel is very good up against her. It's going to limit the amount of healing you're going to be able to do, and that's a pretty big issue. So if that does end up happening in the game, then definitely get a BKB or a Manta for you to be able to dispel that, because that is a big problem. A lot of your survivability comes from your ultimate and also comes from the wisp, which they're actually going to be keeping you alive most of the time. They're very underrated. This hero can tank a lot, but at the same time, if you are getting a kill here and there, but you're still soaking up so many spells, so much damage that they're actually not doing to your carrier, your offlaner, or your supports, because everybody wants to focus the tanky hero. And more often than not, Enchantress is that tanky hero. It's not very hard to kill hero, so they're going to be focusing you quite a lot. So you need to make sure you are ready for that and you build accordingly. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below about Mid Enchantress. I know this isn't something that's going to be breaking metas or anything like that, but if you have played the Mid Enchantress, let me know how that went in the comments below. And if you do end up trying it, let me know in the comments how that ended up going. You should not play ranked with a Mid Enchantress. Let me just say that, if you don't want to give some free MMR. But if you have played it before and you understand how the hero works and the matchups, then you could definitely bring it to the mid lane as a very weird last pick, but it is pretty fun. I highly recommend it once in a while. It is good to have fun in games. I don't want you guys to grief, but at the same time, Dota is about having fun, so one game is not going to hurt anybody as long as you practice it in unranked. If you don't know how to play the Enchantress, then I recommend you guys play it in unranked first, and then you can see how to actually play it, and then you can have a lot more success in your ranked games if you do decide to actually play it. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. It's something different. Not always do I want to post the craziest win rate heroes. Sometimes it's a little bit fun to bring some memes into the game and also be showcasing heroes that don't get a lot of love from other creators. such as Enchantress. It's a hero that pretty much nobody covers, and it's a very fun hero, especially throwing your Impetus out. You're going to be doing a ton of damage. It feels overpowered at times. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the video. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.